Hi, my name's Denise, and welcome to my point of view on the balcony. This is where I give you my point of view. I've been on medical leave for about a year, and I spend a lot of time on my balcony just thinking about things, spiritual things. And I sit here, or I stand here, and I drink my tea and just contemplate a lot of different things. And so today, my topic is the little things. So I'm going to talk to you about these little things that really matter that you don't think about very often. And these are the things that really matter. And these are the things we do all day, every day, and we don't even really recognize it. So this is going to be a pretty short video, just a few things that I have thought about. About a year ago, I was walking down the street in Greater Vancouver. It's in Burnaby. It was December and the sidewalks were slippery, and I had a backpack full of groceries. And I have a medical condition that makes me very stiff and very sore. And so I wasn't very solid on my feet. And here I am walking with this backpack full of stuff. And I started to slip and I started falling backwards. And there was a couple of ladies behind me, and they were close enough to steady me by pulling up on my backpack, and I regained my footing because I was starting to fall back, and they were right behind me. And there's no doubt that it would have fallen and have broken or destroyed some of the stuff. And so some of the things I was carrying, I can't really remember, but I probably had eggs and I might have had milk cartons or cream. And so, the only thing they did is they asked if I was okay. And we all just kind of continued on our way, right? And actually, I could not get it out of my head that they were just there at the right time. Otherwise, I would have been a mess and I might have even hurt myself. So, I was just really, really grateful. And it made a difference in my day as well. And I had this kind of warm feeling. And it was kind of like the feeling that, yeah, human beings are essentially good, even though, we always say people are bad. And no, essentially people are good. When you think of people do just things like that with no thought of any kind of reward or anything that they can get out of this. And the fact that they were willing to help somebody out, even if it just takes a few seconds, and that's truly amazing, because they weren't going to get anything out of that. And they didn't know me at all, and they didn't know how I was going to react. And I could have been upset with them by taking and pulling on my backpack, thinking that maybe they're trying to get in there, trying to steal something. But I don't think that even came into their heads. The only thing they saw was somebody falling backwards. It's like, we're going to do something, and we can. And one of them pulled up on my backpack so that I didn't fall over. And I imagine that they probably forgot about the whole thing even a few minutes later, and it's even more than a year after that I still think about it once in a while. And I'm pointing this out as I feel it's important. Some things that like this are really important to live our lives, with this in mind every day. If we can do some small things, they didn't think of this as anything big. The opportunities for doing things like that exist every day. And just be aware of your surroundings. Don't be, in your own little kind of bubble, your phone in your hand and unaware of everything that is going on. Try to stay connected to that environment that you are in. And as we are interacting with other people, because you never know when the opportunity arises, you never know when something's going to happen, and that you can help out. And if you have the opportunity to do that and it changes somebody, and it helps them out, then that's good. I mean, that makes us human. That's part of what makes us human. We are all connected, even though we don't realize that. We don't realize that true connection that we have. The smallest things we do affect everyone, and everything that everybody does affects you. And that secret to just tapping into that interconnectedness, it exists. um and yeah, another story that I can tell you is, years ago when I was living in Edmonton, I was working with the university, but we were in the Alberta Health building. And so I was working with people on the floor that I didn't really even know. And so we shared a lunchroom and everything. And I went there for a break and get myself some coffee or tea or something in the morning. And a person was like really upset. She was, you could tell she was stressed out, and it was because she had bought her daughter a piano, and her daughter already had a piano, but the piano, a couple of the keys didn't work. And she was like, the pianos are pretty expensive, right? And she felt so bad for spending so much money on this piano when she already had a piano. And I said, well, if the keys don't work, it's like not having a piano. And she goes, oh yeah. And like that was 10 o'clock in the morning. And then at 3 o'clock, I happened to run into her again. And she goes, sometimes you just don't know the difference you can make in somebody's life just by little things. And I go, oh yeah, I guess, yeah. And she goes, remember what you told me this morning? And I'm thinking, I didn't know, I couldn't remember. She goes, remember the piano? Oh yeah. And she goes, that really made a big difference. I was feeling so guilty about buying a new piano, but yeah, it's true that if the keys don't work, then it's like not having a piano. And her daughter was somebody who was seriously in piano. She wasn't like a little kid who was like playing a piano just for fun. No, so this is somebody who was going across the country playing piano, so she needed one that worked. And it's not going to work if even if one of the keys doesn't work, and it's like not having it at all. And she didn't see it that way. And so, yeah, that's all I wanted to say this time. Just those little things, just keep up those little things, and just remember, where there's an opportunity to do something really small, it doesn't take any more than, a few seconds sometimes. Somebody that might be struggling with something, or somebody that needs a little bit extra care or an extra hand at something, then just be there and just remember how much of a difference that can make in that person's life. And yes, like I said, that's all I want to say. So thank you for listening. Goodbye.